Hey, all you Homo sapiens, I'm Nicole, and today I'm going to be telling you all a horror story about the time that I got my right Daith pierced. Now, hold on to your seatbelts or whatever you people do whenever you hear some terrible, terrible stuff, because this is pretty terrible. Okay, so it all started one day. Me and my buddy, we went out to get some food. I don't remember what we went out to do, but all I know is we went out somewhere, and I was like, hey, if you get your nose pierced, I'm gonna get my Daith pierced. I've wanted it pierced for a while. I had my right and my left rook pierced already, and I loved it. They didn't hurt. It was a very minimal pain because, it's a cartilage piercing, so that versus like your earlobes or something, it's very minimal because it's like, I don't know, like a pinch instead of a really hard pinch. Like it's like pinching like this and not with your fingernails. But anyways, so I didn't expect the Daith to hurt because that's what everyone had told me. It feels just like the rook, and maybe the rook is a little worse. So I took their advice and I went to a tattoo shop with optimism. Lots and lots of optimism, okay? So we go in. It's going to cost us about, I don't know, $90 for me to get both Daiths pierced, and it cost her like $40 to get her nose pierced. So it took them 30 minutes to set up her nose piercing stuff. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe at least they're thorough. So we go in, and right off the bat, like, the owner of the tattoo shop was hitting on me. He was like commenting on my boobs and all this other stuff. He's like, I see why you got so many stalkers, honey. I'm like, yeah, thanks, sir. But anyways, so the guy that was piercing our nose and my Daiths, he like called her back there. She got her nose pierced. She loved it. It was good. It was fine. Okay, so he takes another hour to set up my nose piercing, or my Daith piercing stuff. Okay, so after that hour of sitting there and waiting, I go in there and he has me sit on the table like all uncomfortable, like hunched over, and it's so bad. I'm like, I hope he doesn't pierce it like this because this might hurt. Before I know it, he takes a clamp and he clamps it onto the little area where my Daith is at. And that's a very tight area already, but he put the clamp on there. I'm like, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, I hope. And he goes, give me just a second. I want to look over my notes again real quick. No, bro, if you got to look over your notes, you don't know what you're doing yet, okay? Like, it's okay. We all got to start somewhere, If you're new to piercing, that's cool, that's fine, but don't do it on me. Please tell me so I can go somewhere else, because if I'm going to get a piercing, I want to have someone that is experienced in what they're doing. But they did not give me any heads up or anything. He just went for it. Dove in head first into a piercing that is my pressure point that probably could have killed me because he did it wrong. Okay, so as we go further along, after he looks at his notes, he's still got that dang clamp on my ear. He holds it on there for 10 solid minutes. I kid you not. No less than 10 minutes. Like, that was a minimum. So he holds it on there. I'm like, surely he's done piercing it by now, like, this hurts. And I'm not a baby when it comes to pain, but it hurt, my dudes. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, like, surely he's done, surely he's done. No, he wasn't done. He goes, okay, I think I'm ready to stick the needle in now. I finally found one that'll fit. And so I'm like, dude. So I power through it because I just spent $90, you can't go back. So anyways, he like takes the needle and he's like, okay, deep breath, and he like sticks it through the first needle, that is. And so anyway, after he stuck that through, I'm like, okay, I think I can make it. I can make it. I can make it. And he's still holding that clamp on there just as tight as can be. After he stuck the needle through, my ear began to like bleed profusely, like crazy, okay? Your Daith is not supposed to bleed that much. I was told by other professional piercing people, like I called my OG piercing shop. I called the piercing shop that I was going to go to next. And they were all like, no, that's not right. So it bled so much that it filled my entire ear canal with blood. Yes, with blood. You heard that right. And he would not let me tilt my head over to get the blood out. So I'm just chilling there, laying, letting the blood like sink into my ear canal. Can't hear out of it. I'm starting to get really nauseated. And I'm not the type to be like, oh, blood, gore, I'm gonna throw up. No. No, but this was so bad, so disgusting. I could not hear. It was starting to give me a headache. So I thought I was gonna get sick, or pass out. And then it gets worse. So he puts in the next part, which is the actual piercing. And when he puts that in, he starts fiddling with it. Like, I'm pretty sure he wasn't supposed to do this, okay? So I understand you gotta mess with it a little bit to get it in there, but he was like hardcore just tugging on it to the point where I grabbed his wrist and I said a curse word. And I'm not one to like curse in public for sure. You gotta gauge your audience. You want to make good first impressions, but I just straight up couldn't contain myself and it just came out. So then after he got done like messing with that and I almost passed out, he finally starts to put the back on it. And he's like, I can't really get it on there that good. I'm like, you better. Like, and finally, like, I was legit this close to passing out. Like, I had to drive home 30 minutes and I felt like crap. But anyways, he finally gets done with that. I'm like, hey, I don't really want to do the other one. I know I already paid you for it. I said, since you already opened the supplies, go ahead and just like keep the money. I think I'm done, I gotta go. It hurts too much. He's like, oh, come on, you did so good. I'm like, no, my better judgment like tells me not to. So we left. I left him with my money, and like he had allowed me to tilt my head over and pour the blood into a cotton ball, but there was no way that I could get all that blood out of my ear. For 2 solid weeks, I was cleaning blood out of my ear from where it had like sank down into my ear canal. So I would use saline, I would use water, I would even use soap. Like, I even went and bought like a kit with this oil stuff and like this scraper thingy, and I could not get it out, but I needed to because I couldn't hear out of that ear. Like, it was popping every time I spoke, yawned, sneezed, any movement of my jaw, my ear hurt. And it wasn't like the spot where he pierced my Daith either. It was like where the blood had gotten into my ear canal. So that was a pain in the butt. But anyways, if that didn't make matters worse, like, whenever I was leaving the tattoo shop, the owner, the creepy 65-year-old man, he's like, hey, I know you said that this is kind of creepy, but I just want to give you a hug. It's like, are you sure you don't want to just, like, hold on to my boobs or something, sir? Because that's what it seemed like. So creepy. Like, he was hardcore hitting on me. He was making my friend uncomfortable. Like, it was just a bad experience. I'm not gonna name any names or anything because, like, whatever, I think they meant well, but it was so bad. So I go to get my right Daith pierced, or my left Daith pierced. It didn't hurt. It was a good experience. They had a bunch of aftercare tips at the place that I went to for this one. Felt like it should have felt like. And they gave me a hoop, which I wanted. So anyways, the moral behind this entire story is that if you go to get, like, especially your cartilage piercings done, or any sensitive area, and really just any piercing for that matter, go to someone that you know has a lot of experience. Ask them over the phone, hey, how much experience does your piercer have? Like, how many times has he done the Daith, the rook, like, whatever you're going for, and make sure they know what they're doing, and that their aftercare is thorough, and that everything's gonna be good, and that it's not a shady location. That's all I got for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and until next time, I'll see all you people later.